Be doing 2 Celtic cross spreads for you guys, and then pulling closing energies. So the first one's going to be the person that you're dealing with. The second one's going to be you. Okay, remember these are general messages. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't. Energies can always be enmeshed when we're talking about synastry reads, right? Always enmeshed. So if I read this first Celtic cross and you're like, wait a minute, that's me, that's not them. And then when I read yours, you're like, oh, that's them, that's not me. It's still your reading, okay? So coming into this energy, we have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is feeling a little sad and disillusioned, disappointed about a situation. Them feeling very, again, this is their perspective. It doesn't mean that it's real. Them feeling very sad about how something was turning out, and them not being able to see the good in a situation, just really focusing on the sadness and the disappointment of something not working out. So the situation right now, we have the 6 of Swords in reverse, and we have the 2 of Wands crossing it. So the 6 of Swords tells me that they made a decision to move away from a very toxic situation that was going on here. If they didn't in the 3D in real world, they at least are emotionally distant from you, because they viewed something going on in the relationship as very toxic for them, and they really want to just move to a space where it's just a lot healthier and different from where they are now, right? Because this is a Mercury in Aquarius. So Mercury is about this moving forward. Aquarius is about doing things different, moving to a different place, different from where they are now. So the situation right now is that being crossed by the 2 of Wands, which is Mars and Aries energy, which is a desire for a new cycle, and this desire to move forward with you and have this new beginning, right? Because that's the Aries energy. Aries energy is a fresh set of eyes, fresh perspective, and about taking that chance to move forward. So even though they moved away from you, there is this desire to still have this new beginning in the relationship, but there was something about it that was both disappointing to them, and they viewed it as toxic, that they needed to move away from. And they're very confused because we have the 7 of Cups energy as the crowning energy. Like, they know what's in 5 of the Cups, they don't know what's in the other 2. This is a Venus and Scorpio energy, right? So Scorpio being ruled by Pluto is about transformation. They know things are changing in the relationship, but their confusion lies in really not being able to figure out how the chips are going to land. And that's making them feel really uncomfortable. And they're like, this is very much an energy of trying to almost micromanage a situation, because the confusion lies in knowing something's changing but not knowing how it's going to end. Well, of course, we're not supposed to know. Whatever it is that they don't know, they're not supposed to know it, but it's making them feel uncomfortable. The foundation, though, is the 9 of Wands. This person definitely wants to be with you, even though they've either separated themselves from you or they're seeming emotionally distant from you in some way. As then we have the 9 of Wands energy. This is the Moon in Sagittarius. This is them feeling the desire to still move forward with you and try to work things out, even though they feel put through the ringer emotionally as far as this relationship goes. They still have passion for you. It's still, the fire for you is still burning. It's still burning for them, even though they feel like they've been through a lot with you. So right now, where they're at right now, okay, in their headspace, they're this 10 of Cups reverse energy. So this is a Mars and Pisces energy. Whenever we have cup energy and Pisces involved there, it's about what we really want, our wishes, right? And Mars being the ruler of Aries, it's about, having that fresh perspective to start that new cycle and move things forward. So in the reverse, this is telling me that they don't feel like starting a new cycle with you is really going to bring them to their wish fulfillment, what it is that they really want. They're not seeing it as a possibility right now. The external energy to them is, which would be you here, is the 7 of Swords in reverse. And the 7 of Swords is the card of thievery, right? It's a Moon in Aquarius energy. I always call it the, it's kind of like somebody wearing a mask, right? Somebody wearing this mask to cover up how they're really feeling. Because Moon is I feel, right? Which is what you feel in private. And then Aquarius is something out of the box. So it's you showing externally something different than who you are deep inside. So in their mind, they're viewing you as somebody, and because it's reversed, somebody, your mask is falling off in their mind. They're seeing you for not only who and what you are, but different from who they thought you were. In their mind, they're saying, this person is not who they initially presented themselves to me to be. Or maybe you did present yourself in an authentic way, and they had a different narrative running in their head about you, creating you to be something that they wanted you to be in their own mind, and then realizing that you're not that person. Okay? In their fear position, we have the King of Wands. They're afraid of this not moving forward. It's very interesting. Seven of Swords in reverse. I mean, this is very, very interesting too, because I want to cut myself off to say something else that I'm being called to say for the Seven of Swords energy. The Seven of Swords energy is also somebody playing somebody else at their own game. Okay? Like if you knew that your person was being very passive aggressive, where they were doing something, you starting to adapt that same sensibility, playing them at their own game kind of thing. And this could be them realizing that you were trying to play them at their own game. That's going to resonate with some of you, as I was pulled back to say that. Anyway, their fear is the King of Wands. So this just means that they're afraid of not being able to move forward in this with you, and really quite directly, because it's a Cancer and Leo energy. Leo is about forward movement with passion. Cancer is that metaphorical home space, that safety, and they're afraid of that. They're afraid of not feeling safe with you in the future, not feeling like this is something that they could really trust. And it's going to end up impacting their passion to want to stay in the relationship. But that's in their fear position. And they're fearing that you're going to be feeling the same way as well, because there's a lot of reciprocity with that energy there. Now, the outcome here is the Devil. So the Devil is about restriction, right? Because this is a Capricorn energy, which is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about restriction. The Devil energy is also, as I always say, it's about imbalance. So this could have to do with addiction of any kind. And when I say addiction, it doesn't have to be to alcohol and drugs. It could be to food, sex, and money, negative thinking, fear of abandonment, fear of commitment, a lot of anxiety, high anxiety, deep depression, anything where there's not balance, right? That ends up impacting the relationship in a way that ends up, getting in the way of the relationship moving forward, right? It ends up creating this block, this restriction. And that is the outcome energy here, right? As far as they're seeing this connection. We have the Five of Swords in the reverse. So the Five of Swords energy is a Venus and Aquarius energy. And in the reverse, this is interesting to me, because this is them feeling like the arguments that you guys have towards what's really gone on in the relationship, towards what would be necessary to move this relationship forward. First of all, you guys cannot have a meeting of the minds. You don't have the same memory. Let's just say that. Your perceptions of things are very different, very off. But the person you're dealing with, this is them thinking that you are the main issue. Because when this energy comes up reversed, this is getting caught up in a fight, really caught up in an argument, where somebody's telling you that things need to change, but it really is on their end. They're the issue. You are not. That's what the reversal of this means. Guys, I'm not saying that that's reality. I'm saying that this is how they see things. They're seeing you as you're the one where you are the one who incites the arguments. You are the one who is the issue. You're the one who has the imbalance here. This is how they're viewing the relationship. So I feel like they have all these emotions for you, and they know that the transformations are happening. They're very aware of it. There's something they don't trust about you. They're seeing you as being different than how you initially presented yourself. But yet they're afraid to not have this work out. Interesting. Three Swords. Reverse. Cups. Okay. See, some cards are so much better in the reverse, and the Three of Swords is one of them. Interesting. The shadow side came out in your fear position, which is the Devil energy. So Devil energy is definitely at play here. Sure. All right, so we have coming into the situation, oh, you're very confused. We have the Hangman. This is Neptune. This is not seeing things clearly. I have to, okay. So this is, first of all, you taking a time out. This is pressing a pause button to just go hang out upside down for a little while. But this is the thing, like, what are you thinking about? This Neptune energy means there's confusion here, because wherever there's Neptune, there's confusion. But the Neptune also rules the 12th house. So I'm not going to say that this is for all of you guys. This is a general reading. But for some of you, you have to understand Neptune rules that 12th house, that Pisces house, the house of self-undoing. It's where escapism is. It's where addictions lie. It's where it's where fantasy is as well, where we can just want to escape into things, right? And this is, you can be just hanging it upside down. You pressing a pause button right now in your life, having to do with this relationship, and just like taking a minute. So are you doing some sort of, were you anyway, right? Because this was the past, some sort of escaping into something else, or just feeling, or many of you can just be feeling super confused about this relationship. Doesn't mean that you're doing any sort of escaping at all, but I do want to give both interpretations because this is a general message. Now, the situation right now is the Three of Swords reverse, way more positive in the reverse. This is the card of pain, but in reverse it indicates that the swords are coming out, which means communication is going to be happening. There's going to be some sort of validation that's going to be going on, and that's being crossed by the Two of Cups energy, which is a Venus and Cancer energy. So I like this because to have Venus obviously is about love. It's also about self-esteem, feeling really good about something. Connection to money, but I don't really feel that that's very relevant here. I feel like whatever's going to be communicating, there's going to be a lot of conversation about things that were very painful in this connection, in a way towards healing, right? This is what at least you would really like. This is the situation. This is where you're at in the relationship. That's where you're at. Crowning you right now is the King of Swords in the reverse. So, you might be a little afraid that they're not willing to put in all the work that you're willing to put in order to make something, happen differently in this connection. Again, because this is a Capricorn and Aquarius energy. So Capricorn's about putting in the hard work. It's ruled by Saturn. And Aquarius, being ruled by Uranus, is about doing things differently. So this is about having this communication in order to put in the work. To know how to put in the work, right? Having the communication about what's necessary to move something forward. But as a crowning energy here, this is you questioning whether you're capable of it, whether they're capable of it, whether the relationship is even able to survive that, right? Are you both going to be equally willing to put in the work to do things differently, like at the end of the day? Because sometimes the idea of putting in the work to make the changes is a whole lot more palatable than actually doing it in reality, right? The foundation energy we have here is the King of Pentacles in reverse. So the King of Pentacles is an Aries and Taurus energy. So this is feeling like you guys are not going to have this fresh start, in order to do things differently, to move forward. I mean, the King of Pentacles see things, he sees things. The King of Pentacles, it says Aries and Taurus. Aries are the emperors of the zodiac, right? They're large and in charge, right? So when you have that with the Taurus energy being ruled by Venus, this is somebody who knows what to do in relationship. This is somebody who understands mental, physical, emotional connection. They have a healthy relationship to money. They have their money's on point. And in the reverse, it's the opposite of all of that. So they might be struggling with money. You might be struggling with money. Money can definitely be an issue, but there is this lack of emotional, mental, physical connection, feeling like you guys can truly have your act together in a way for long enough to fix things, to get on this healthier trajectory from where you guys are right now. Then we have the Star. This is you right now. Yeah, this is the Star reverse. This is Aquarius energy. Aquarius is about doing things differently towards healing. And in the reverse, this is telling me that, that you're not feeling it. You're in a space where you just don't feel like doing things differently could possibly end up healing whatever has gone on here. You just, in your heart of hearts, you're just not sure if it's possible. It doesn't mean that you don't want it, but there's this lack of ability to heal, right? Because the Star is a healing energy. It's healing. And you're not able to heal from something. You're not allowing the healing. You're not allowing for something to be different just yet. So you could still be in the throes of some sort of painful circumstance, or just this you're in this stuck space. I feel like between the Hangman and the Star reverse, you're in a little bit of a stuck space. Now, the energy external to you, we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is a Gemini and Cancer energy, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury, so that's a very transformative energy. It's a high communication energy as well. And obviously Cancer is that fourth house of home, that metaphorical home space, safety. So this is somebody really trying to communicate with you, really wanting this metaphorical home space. This is very much what they want. I feel like somebody's trying to heal something with you, but you're afraid. Oh man, are you afraid? And it's coming out. The shadow side in reverse is better than in the upright. This is in your fear position, but it's better than in your upright. Now, listen, I do want to say your fear might be facing your own imbalances here. I just have to call it what it is. You have to call it what it is, right? Because this is about everything that the devil energy is, right? The addictions, the imbalance, whatever it is, doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be the alcohol, drugs, whatever. This could be coming clean about, and you're afraid to talk about your issue with anxiety and depression. You're afraid to talk about your problem with drinking or drugs, or that eating disorder, or that gambling problem, or your tendency to feel incredibly overwhelmed by this fear of abandonment. You are afraid to, whatever it is, guys, whatever it is, there's no judgment at all, but this is your fear. I'm getting this very strong. So what's interesting to me is how the devil came out as the outcome for them, and facing this is your fear position, because this is being faced in the reverse. And the Emperor reverse energy as the outcome. So this is interesting, because the Emperor reverse is the card of the narcissist. It's a card of the narcissist. It's an Aries energy, so it's all about, just keeping it on a more positive perspective. This is just quite directly the inability to have a fresh perspective in a way that's allowing there to be this desire to take this chance on this next cycle. It's something's getting in the way of there being a fresh perspective. There's definitely this holding back. Something is getting in the way. It is also the card of the narcissist. So you may be dealing with the narcissist, or you may it doesn't have to be narcissistic personality disorder, by the way. Let me clarify that. This could be, this idea of just extreme selfishness, deflection, gaslighting, anything like that, right? Now, I mean, keeping it real, this could be something that you're dealing with, It could be something that you're dealing with within yourself. Not that you even want to be. And that's something that I think people don't talk about enough. The fact, the Emperor reverse energy is often this kind of, like, you can't get out of your own way. It's almost like a self-sabotaging behavior, the Emperor reverse, right? It's you want to be in charge. Who doesn't want to be in charge of their own life? Everyone does, right? But in the reverse, you're really not. You're really not. Because the Emperor is large and in charge, making solid decisions, responsible decisions, willing to take good chances, right? Knowing that it's to better one's life, right? All of that. And in the reverse, who doesn't want? Everybody wants to feel that. But so there's a self-sabotaging element to this, right? But a lot of times this is created out of fear. I do want to say, Scorpio, like, if you guys are feeling this is just part of your archetype. It not to be like that, but what happens when a Scorpion gets scared? They kill themselves. And I know that sounds very dramatic, but that is what happens. I've mentioned that in a number of videos. And how does that translate to what we're talking about? It ends up becoming this self-sabotaging behavior where it's not that you want to be like that. It just kind of ends up happening energetically. And that's okay. But what's important here is the recognition, because once you recognize something, you take away its power. You take away a significant part of its power. And then we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So there's an element of confusion here, but the Seven of Cups is a Venus and Scorpio energy. So this tells me that, when you guys are all about transformation, right? The transformation and this connection, this is just not really something that you see happening. You don't see the transformation happening. Yeah, that is what I see. So we have that Three of Swords as the situation. So I do have to say, again, going back to sort of what I just said, if you're in a situation where you've attracted an energy to you that ended up being very painful and unhealthy, and you've been exercising some sort of self-sabotaging behavior, it's because of that pain and it's because of that fear that makes it. I'm not making excuses for you, and I'm not trying to, in any way, I'm trying to be very real with you. This is truly what the archetype of Scorpio is about. Scorpios have to be very careful of not attracting self-serving energies towards themselves, energies that could be maybe not the healthiest. And then at the same time, Scorpios really are fundamentally, their relationships are a huge part of their makeup. I mean, all water signs are, but Scorpios, it's a huge part. And if you're presented with a situation where you feel like somebody's not in it equally, it's very difficult for you to stay in that and feel safe. And then you end up creating these kind of cyclical sabotaging behaviors because of that fear. And if you're with an individual who doesn't understand and honor that about you and help you feel more safe and help you feel more just safer, yeah, I mean, it's the bet, like, they're in it with you, and that's the challenge. Therein lies the challenge, right? Now, that is what I have for that part. So let's get some outcome energies here. Let me do one shuffle. I shuffle these before I turn on the camera, but let's just put a little more. Mm-hmm. Hard time walking away from this. Hard time walking away. Hard time for both of you. This is a very, Eight of Cups is, see, the thing is, the Eight of Cups is a Saturn and Pisces energy. So in the upright, it's really hard, but you're going to walk away from a situation that you know is toxic to go towards your dreams. But in the reverse, it's like almost like there's almost an obsession that's happening here, where it's so difficult for you to pull away. Then we have the Judgment energy. The Judgment is Pluto. It's about transformation. There's a transformation coming here, but then we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So there's going to be change. There's going to be a transformation. You guys are there's going to be forgiveness here, but you guys are not going to be able to have this new start. Not as it is. I feel like somebody just needs to really work on themselves here first. Maybe both of you do. But judgment is a great energy in that it's a transformation towards healing. But it doesn't mean a transformation definitely towards something new. Right? You see the two people? They're kind of going in different directions. Right? And the Ace of Cups is not a new beginning, right, in the relationship. But then we have the Knight of Pentacles here, which is a Leo and Virgo. So I do like this because there is going to be communication here. There is going to be a movement forward, and there is going to be some sort of moving into a space where there's going to be greater mental, physical, emotional connection, you know, that's necessary for each of you. Yeah, it's a movement forward. So a decision's going to be made to do that. Not even a decision. You guys are going to be doing it a little kicking and screaming, I have to say, because of the Eight of Cups in reverse. Painful energy, painful. Scorpio, I'm sorry. I don't have a better reading for you. It breaks my heart. You need to know that. I don't like delivering any painful energies, but listen, sometimes it simply is what it is it not? It's the way life goes. Okay, so we're going to move on now to Scorpio singles. Scorpio singles. And I don't read any of these in reverse, guys, because I work the oracles in with these, okay? And I never read oracle energy in reverse, and I like to keep the reading in alignment, right? A Priestess. Really getting honest with yourself about what it is that you want. I like that. Really deep, right? The High Priestess is a moon energy. It's all about I feel. So you really getting in touch with what you're feeling deep inside, right? The moon rules that which we do in private, what we feel in private. So this is you coming into this energy with that. Now the situation right now, having to do with relationship, we have a Five of Cups energy that's crossed by the Three of Wands energy. So for some of you, I feel like you still have something swirling in your energy field from a past relationship that you're not completely healed from, but that you know you need to extricate yourself from. You need to move forward. You know you need to. So the Five of Cups, though, here is recognize you're just still kind of like wrapped in the disappointment and disillusionment of a situation, you know. But at the same time, you're ready to move forward. The Sun in Aries. You see a new path in front of you. You're sad, but you're moving forward. Because Aries is about fresh perspective and having a fire in your belly to do it. Like you feel ready. You're just motivated. You're ready to move it forward. You really are. Now, crowning you, we have the King of Pentacles energy. So this is an Aries and Taurus energy. So you could be meeting an Aries or Taurus. But it's a great energy. This is a new cycle, a new perspective in relationship. Because Taurus is ruled by Venus, okay? So this is somebody who's on point with their money and who is a big boy or a big girl where they understand what healthy mental, emotional, and physical connection are. Again, they're responsible with their finances. This is really beautiful. Really great. And then we have the Death card as the foundation. I love it. So this is, this is you guys, this is Scorpio. So you are really fundamentally focusing on what it is that you want, need, and desire in relationship, and you're not allowing yourself to compromise. But this does indicate transformation, of course, because you guys are ruled by Pluto. So it's really letting go of an old cycle and really very much embracing a new one. You're going to be a little confused about it, and that's okay, because you feel the transformation happening, right, for you guys. This is a Venus in you, or a Venus in Scorpio. And you feel the transformation, but you're just not totally seeing what's on the other side of it. You're not sure what you can trust. You're not sure what you can trust. Now, a lot of times this energy comes up in this position when, we're still kind of, and subconsciously nursing these things from our past. You know what I mean? it's like our past. A lot of times our past situations end up like wallpapering our room. You know what I mean? Even if we don't want to have that happen. So this could be you wanting this new beginning, feeling really excited. I definitely feel like there is an absolute beautiful new energy coming in here, and you're just not totally sure if you can trust it. Because then the external energy to you is the moon. Okay, so very interesting. You might be dealing with a Cancer here, or a Pisces. Okay, because tarot, it's connected to Pisces, but in astrology the moon rules Cancer. But the moon rules things that we feel deep inside. So you may be viewing this person as a little mysterious, but as very deep. Definitely water energy. I'm getting a fellow water energy for sure. For sure. But somebody who thinks deeply, who feels deeply, but also you're in this space of just not being sure. Are they telling you everything? So they might have a little bit of a mysterious vibe to them. And your fear is the 9 of Pentacles. You're just afraid of not having success in this relationship. And I'm just going to leave it at that. This is a mental energy. It's in your fear position. And that's understandable, right? Because I do feel like whoever's resonating with this, you've been through quite a lot in relationships. But we do have a Knight of Wands energy coming in. I love this card because there's so much energy that comes off of it. This is a Cancer and Leo energy. So what I like about this is not only is there going to be a lot of attraction here, you might be dealing with the fire energy, right? Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but not only is there a lot of attraction and fire here, right, with that Leo energy, this person's going to be fun, right, because they're Leo. Leos like to have a good time. But